Hello, Namaste, Sasrikal, good evening. Welcome to the S.S.Chandhok talk show. I'm your host and moderator, S.S. Chandhok. We are gathered here again to discuss about a very important topic, which is the hot topic after pandemic. We have seen that the only positive attribute of the pandemic was that it brought technology into being, which had to come after 10 years at least. So today we are going to discuss about the technology, that it's a boom or a curse for the students especially. Without taking any time, I'll introduce you to the very first eminent guest present over here. First of all, we have Neelinder Kaur ma'am. She's a director of a very prestigious institutions, actually 2 to 3 schools they have in Ambala, that is the SD Vidyalaya School. Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming. Heard a lot about you. Wanted you to join the session, and thank you so much for coming, ma'am. Ma'am, please let us know about yourself, your educational journey. I mean, you are looking after 2 schools, I think.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, please let us know about your educational journey. You came into this profession by chance or by choice, and how did you rose to a from a a teacher to a principal, and now looking after 2 schools, which are very established schools in Ambala.
So I'm Neelindrajit Kaur Sandhu. I'm Director Principal of the ST Vidya School Ambala Cant and Director of the ST Vidya School Noida. So I came into teaching profession by choice because my husband was in the army earlier, and wherever he was posted, I used to pick up the teaching job, and it was a labor of love for me always. But then I kept hopping on, and it so happened that in 2004, I got the opportunity to head a school, a boarding school. So thereafter, this is the 18th year now that I've been the principal of a CBSE affiliated school. And the journey has been very gratifying, very fulfilling. And I've been very lucky to have a kind of, overview of boarding schools, day boarding schools, day schools. Then I have, got the opportunity to work in Europe also. My husband was posted with the peacekeeping forces, so I went there, joined as a voluntary teacher. So my journey has been very, very fulfilling. So that's all about my journey.
That's amazing, ma'am. Wonderful experience. You have wonderful places. You're gone. You have also worked out of India, also in urban countries, also. That's a wonderful experience, ma'am, and it shows that your potential, that you're looking after so many 2 schools that 2 are in far places in Ambala and Noida also, and they're doing pretty well as of I know. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming up to the show.
Pleasure.
Hope you'll enjoy the session today. Next, we have a very eminent personality, Mr. Animesh Parak sir. He is a director and the owner of a very prestigious institution in Bhilwara, Rajasthan, that is New Look Central School. Welcome, Animesh sir. Sir, I won't introduce you because I think you should tell yourself. Sir is engineer by profession. Instead of going into a job or in a multinational company, sir decided to have his own school where he can spread education very positively. Rest, sir will tell himself. Sir, please, Animesh sir, thank you so much for coming up to the show. Please let us know about yourself, about your school, how you started that, and how are you looking after that.
A very good evening to all. Thank you, Sarabjit sir, for calling up on your show. As you have informed, I am by profession an engineer. I have done my engineering from Mumbai in computer science. After my engineering, I did my advanced diploma in computer science from CDEC. Right now it's CDEC. Previously it was National Center for Software Technology. I have worked 3 years in Tata TCS also as a senior software engineer. After that, I got my educational diploma from TESOL from American Institute. See, after that, I realized I am not able to come up with my own dreams. I had a passion for teaching students through engineering. When I was an engineer, during those days, students used to come me with maths and science related problems. I used to teach them, and that thing realized me that students still becoming engineers, and they are not able to solve simple problems. And my parents were a teacher also. So I thought of opening a school in my own city, that is a rural city, not so upgraded, but you must have heard the name Bhilwara. It's a textile city famous for clothes, Asia's largest city. So in my own city, I started to, with my parents' help, initially I set up a school, and right now it's 10 plus 2. For I have been running the school from last 19 years actually. So initially, what my passion for science max led me to start up a institute for the students. Right now, what we have done in our institute related to science max, as per your talk show, is their technology. We have, after pandemic, changed the things incredibly. Right now, things are moving online, offline. So as far my journey is concerned, right now, being an engineer, I am trying to pursue technology in education both ways. So that's all. I'll not take much of the time. As per 2 minutes you have given to me. Thank you, Sarabji.
Thank you so much, sir, for coming up to the show and create bringing up a school in a remote area where education is not possible. That too, I think it's a CBSE school. I think it's a CBSE school.
It's a
That
CBSE school with science, commerce, and arts faculty, sir.
that's amazing, sir. I mean, spreading education is the most important thing which you people are doing in the places where nobody. I mean, all of them are not coming up. Thank you so
Correct.
much, sir. Thank you so much for coming. Next, we have Shilpa Mahajan, ma'am. She is the owner also, and she's a director also, and she's a principal of a very prestigious institution, which she has. I had been seeing that she has taken care of the school like a baby and brought up to a level. Now it is a affiliated school of CBSE, and the way the hard work she is doing to 24 into 7, it's hats off to her. The way she is doing that. Thank you so much, Shilpa ma'am, for coming up to the show once again after a long time. And it's a pleasure having you here. People get inspired like people you that in places like Aknoor and all places, which is in Jammu, you have opened up near the banks of the river. I think there's a river near your school. So that's a beautiful, atmosphere you get. If you see the photograph of the school from the outside or somewhere, so you see the river is, is there behind the school. So beautiful atmosphere at a small place. She has opened up a school, and hats off to her. At that place, she has opened up a CBSE school. Welcome, Shilpa ma'am. Please let us know about your journey. How did it came into your mind to start up a school? And gradually, we have seen so many people they have start up a school till grade 8. They have it till grade 8, and then they said it's okay for it like that. But you kept on that will in you, and you had been seeing. You had been so active in the Jammu Sahodiyas and all the principals I had been knowing. You had been always there, just a hunger to learn and to bring up the level of the school. Because when you are meeting people, when you're talking to them, you get something from them. There's never a loss with them. So, ma'am, please let us know about yourself.
Thank you so much, Chandhok sir, for giving me a wonderful opportunity to speak in front of the people with the eminent educationists of our country. First of all, I would like to say thank you to you to say wonderful words regarding my school and regarding the area that I belong to. Basically, I'm from Jammu. I got married in Akhnur in 2006. And when I came to this area, it was known as the village, now not as a town. And that thing stick to my mind. Why people saying that it's a village, not a town? So I decided because I believe that education is a medium which can create the other medium for the people for the opportunities in different fields also. So that idea came to my mind that if education is getting deep into this area, definitely the name will getting deeper. And I decided to open the school in 2013. Basically, the school where Shubh International School stands here, it's belong to the ancestral land of my in-laws. So I decided to do something, and Shubh is a name in the name of my late mother-in-law, and the whole credit and the tribute goes to her because हम रहे ना रहे उनका नाम रहेगा हमेशा इस एरिया में. That is my the biggest achievement. I believe all the credit goes to her. And sir, as you told that this area, this school is on the bank of the river, and definitely this is when you stand on the main area, you see the river is on the opposite side, and that really motivated boosts us to move further because the aura, the sound, the beautiful, the beautification of river that really motivates us. And in this area, what I felt that there is a numerous resources available, but the biggest lack is education. And I'm working on it. And the people like you are always with me with your best wishes, the wishes of my parents who are with me from the 2013. That moves me that I have to move further up to 12th standard. And within 2 or 3 years, the school goes up to 12th standard, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Welcome, ma'am. Thank you so much, and all the best to you. It will 100% go up to grade 12, because next year again you are going to get the application for grade 12 also. Congratulations once again, and thank you, ma'am. Next, we have Miss Khushbu Singh. She is a principal of a very prestigious institution in Pune, that is AEMS. Welcome, ma'am, Khushbu, ma'am, up to the show. And it's wonderful having you on the show. Please, you have also come for the first time on the show, ma'am. Please let us know about yourself, your educational journey, and now as a principal.
A very good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for having me here. My journey is a bit different from others, how I came into this education industry. I was given a job in one of the competitions when I was in a college, and I was invited by the trustees of one of the very good schools, I can say in Gujarat, to still get the best school award till now. So it was just a coincidence. I was in the college. I happened to go for some of the competitions where I had to give a speech on the international some day. I don't remember much, but when I gave it, they all approached me and they gave me the number and they told me just come and visit me in the office. When I went to meet them, I just finished my graduation in English, BA with English, and I went to meet them and they said that we want you in the school and we want you to have this opportunity to teach to the children. So I thought it is very good opportunity. I will be going in the morning to the college and after 12:30 I will be working in the school. And I didn't understand when it became my passion. And I did my BA, I did my MA, I did my MA. In the morning and afternoon, I used to go to school. And this is how I passed my 5 years in Gujarat. And later on, I shifted to Pune. Having worked in IB World Schools, different Symbiosis School, Mercedes-Benz School, Victoria's Kids Educators in Pune, very renowned, very prestigious, big institutions. Just one thing popped out, why don't I use myself to the standard of the children in village? And I happened to join this school, which is Angel, which is located in one of the villages of Pune, that is Loni Kalbur, where almost farmers' children are coming to the school. And this idea popped out. I joined the institution in 2012 in Pune and worked in state board school for 5 years, nearly 5 to 6 years. And then they started the CBSE school where they appointed me as a principal. So in a very short, I think I have tried my best to sum up my journey in this field. Thank you so much, sir, for having me.
Welcome, ma'am. What's the full form of AEMS, ma'am?
This is Angel Group of Schools, wherein, sir, we have 15 schools. AEMS is in a rural area. The school's name is Angel English Medium School.
Okay.
So we have 15 schools here. Angel.
So that means you have an experience of almost all the boards.
Yes, sir. True.
That's amazing, ma'am. Welcome, ma'am, and thank you so much for coming, ma'am.
Same here, sir.
Next, we have a very eminent and a very interesting person and a very learned person. Sir, who is the principal of a very famous institution in Malerkotla, Punjab, that is the Cambridge School. The Cambridge School is very renowned one because it has a lot of branches. I think it is also a part of this. But Dr. Som Prakash, sir, he himself is a very renowned person. People know them in social media very well. Welcome, Som Prakash, sir. Please let us know about yourself, sir.
Thank you, Chandhok, sir, for inviting me on this show once again. Last time also I attended and it was really an enjoyable experience for me. Kindly accept my greetings, everybody, on this show. Myself, Dr. Som Prakash. I started my teaching career in 1999. Though I started my career as, not by choice, by chance, because I did appear for my civil services and all. I had to come to the teaching. But once I came into this profession, I really discovered the depth of this profession and the magnitude of this profession. That how this profession can change the lives of millions and millions and millions of people across the globe. So I kept on teaching for 8 years, and then in 2007, yeah, in 2007 I joined as a principal. That was a very challenging job for me, the first ever school, but by the grace of God and due to the immense love for children and for education. Yes, I have no hesitation in saying that I love children to the core of my heart, and I go to school every day just because I get to see lovely faces of children, and that is something which keeps me going. So it's been 15, 16 years today, and every day I'm learning new things, every day I'm learning new skills, and that is the way education goes. That is that is education all about: learning, learning, and learning every day. Thank you so much.
Welcome, sir. And it's always said that you learn to the last breath you take. So
Yeah.
for learning also we have joined today together. Thank you so much, sir. Next we have Neeta Das, ma'am. She is the principal of Saluja Gold International School in Girhet, Jharkhand. Again, I think it is a remote area where this school has been established, but it is doing wonderful over there. Welcome, Neeta Das, ma'am, again into the show. Please let us know about your educational journey, ma'am. Although I know that, but other people who are looking over here and will see the show will like to know about you.
Yeah, a very good evening to all the eminent guests present over here, and a very good evening to Mr. Chandru. And I'm really privileged to be here in your talk show. Yeah, so to begin with my career in this education, I started my career as a computer teacher way back in 1997, and thereafter, from being a computer teacher, I rose into to become a headmistress, then coordinator, and then I worked in academic as academic head in one of the corporate also. So that was a Bangalore-based education management company where my role as an academic head was to manage the schools. So I almost managed 7 to 8 school projects that time. And thereafter again, I've come back to schools. And for the past years, I've been working in school in the role of a principal. Prior to working in Saluja Gold International School, which is basically a senior secondary school, I was working in KV School Hardoi, and my role as a principal and my journey in education has been wonderful, and I have learned many new things in education. And learning, as said by one of my friends, that learning never ends, and I've been still learning, and I'll continue learning from my teachers, from my management, from my students, and of course parents. And I love this profession, and I've definitely come here as choice.
Very interesting and amazing career you have, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll come up to the next person, the personality who is the expert of today's show, because we are talking about technology. So we are having a technology expert, Mr. Harshpal Khurana. Harshpal Singh Khurana is an edtech entrepreneur and founder of Tap School, a premier startup that provides all type of solutions related to education, institutions, and organizations. Tap School are currently implemented in many schools throughout the India. He loves to interact with people. He has a lot of interest with going up to the schools, talking to the principals, talking to the management about what are the barriers which are giving hindrance to the education, and he is trying to improve day by day into his product, that how can he improve that and bring up more better, so that the education should be given 100% to the students. And talking informally, when I talk about Mr. Harshpal, so I just again met up in one of the show and came to know about his product. So I talked about him on the technology, that really these type of technologies are helping the students, the school, and the management or not. Because so many people are coming to us, you're talking about the ERP, talking about the content and everything, but how it is different. Although he has brought up that solution with A to Z, I mean, whatever is needed for the education from ERP to the what do you call that content of the subjects and all, everything is over there. So let's talk to him about what actually the difference is. What is the better? Should we go into this technology, or I mean, it is useful to the students, or that is the matter of show? Because before pandemic, we had seen that so many smart boards have come into the existence where we were putting up smart boards in all the classes. But now I have seen so many schools that the smart boards, they have not been even used as a, a sketchboard also, and they are useless. They are not being used. How that these things are these things very expensive? Are they useful to us? Because after pandemic also, the budgets of the schools have gone down. The school cannot afford to use this technology. But again, when we see that technology is moving far off, and all the schools are rushing towards technology, as well as the students are rushing, so we have to be a little alert about this, that how it is helpful and how it is going to work. Harshpal sir, thank you so much for coming once again to guide us about technology. Please let us know about yourself, that how did you came into this profession of coming up to a to Z solution with the of the education, and what is actually these technology implementation in schools, or you can say like, okay, what is this TAP school about?
Thank you, sir, for inviting me one more time to this prestigious talk show with such great personalities. And just to give an introduction about myself, I am Harshpal, and I am, founder of edtech startup called Tab School. We personally, I started off my career in 2004, and I have always been a tech guy. But in past over a decade, during my journeys to certain places, certain rural areas, I realized that that the education system in the tier 3, 4 cities, or in rural areas, is bit, you can say, at that point of time, I mean to say in 2015, was bit required a lot of things. There are a lot of problems that are happening in the rural areas and the tier 3, 4 cities. And I took up this project of innovating products through technology, because I feel India has so many problems that technology is an answer for almost everything in a country like ours. And education is one of them. And slowly, when we started off in 2016, we realized the problems are not just in the rural areas of tier 3, 4 cities, but we also saw that there are problems in the urban areas as well. And that's how we started off developing the product. And on top of it, we also decided that we are not going to make an ERP solution just back in 2016, because the main motive of an edtech company should be the education. The bigger part is the education, and the students should be center of it. So we started building the tools that help students in developing certain skills like critical thinking, decision making, problem solving, decoding, language skills, socialization skills. So these are the skills that are all required by a child to be successful in life. So then we decided that, okay, these are the tools that will empower the teachers to create the content they want, the kind of content they can create, the engaging content using our platform, and then furthermore send it to students and track students' performance, and see what and how student is progressing in their academics. So this was our initial platform, and obviously from 2016 till now, we have come up with other platforms because of the demands from our customers were that we need ERPs, we need browsers also, for that, safe browsers also, and there are many things. So we got that also made, and also we got into the hardware as well. So that's why we are now a 360-degree solution provider for any school that we have. We are into content, we are into ERP, we are into this creating platforms for engaging content, learning, assessments. Everything is that is there with us. So that's how we started off, and this is have been our journey. So that is there.
That's very great. So the most important thing is that I always also had a fear in the starting that when we are going for ERP and solution and this and that, it is going to be very expensive. Because at the other time, we are also knowing that it is going to save the manpower. Man, sometimes they are absent, they are not coming, or accuracy is not there. All these things, they bring up accuracy, everything. But the most important thing is the funds. What about this? Is this product very economical, or it is an average priced, or it is a high price? Because it is always when you're not using that, it is always in the mind that this might be very expensive. If we say that you are 360-degree all solutions you have, and if we need, every school will be needing that. And we know more than 95%, let's say 97%, 98% schools, they are not using this. Just on a fear that taking up these contents and taking out ERP and everything, because everything will be very easy for the school. But what about the pocket? That is very important. That is why schools, they do not like going into it, because they have never tried to find out what are the prices of these products. So is it economical, very economical, or it is of a medium range, or it is of high range? That is also very important for us. Please let us know about that.
So, sir, for us, the Tab School, the software bundles that we give, that is very, very economical. And it's not that we are charging very high. We are not charging high. I can give you a fair ballpark figure. It's even less than 50K. So we are charging very, very economical. It is the hardware. Sometimes the schools ask for hardwares because tablets, like we have a tab school, so tablets are pretty much part of our ecosystem. So that is a choice of a school that we give them, that they want to opt for tablets, they can, and if they don't want to opt for tablets, that's their entire choice. But if you want the classroom learning, why I call my platform Tab School Classroom Learning Management Solution, not just Learning Management Solution. Why I call that is because it is implementable in the classroom with the teacher's involvement. So that's why I tell them that this is implementable in classroom. And on top of that, because in a classroom you can't bring phones, your delivery mechanism cannot be phones, right? Your parents' phones cannot be the delivery mechanism. So tablets and laptops become your delivery mechanism. So if you're running a software in a classroom, on which device you will run? So in that particular case, we bring in the tablets and laptops, and then we, on top of those laptops and tablets, we add a layer of security, because we don't want students to wander off or to access unnecessary websites or applications when they are studying. So the teacher keeps an eye on what they're doing on the tablet, because they have a parental control software, also known as, in a technical term, it is known as MDM, that is mobile device management system. So that is there. And to manage, we give the access to parents as well as to the teachers, as to, you should know what this kid is doing when he or she is in the classroom. They cannot access the websites like YouTube or Facebook when they're sitting in the classroom. They can just access the content which you have given them to access. So that is also a part of our the entire ecosystem.
So that means, so I mean, you want to say that everything is customized, whatever is the need of the school as per the budget. Because other day when you told me about the prices, about the content and ERP and everything all together, I was really amazed that it is so economical and protective. Also, the other way you are telling that the students won't be able to use much more apps which are not allowed actually. So that is also a very good thing. But the economical, the way that you are giving it once, at a fixed amount to the schools in a very lesser price, that is very important. Whatever is the strength of the school. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that also in the further session, because when we go up to the things, we need to get according to the technology, because we know very well after a period of 5 to 7 years, there will be no usage of books. Only the teachers and the devices will be there. The students will study from that only, for sure, because the way the technology is going on, it is not going to stop. Thank you so much for coming, Ashpal sir. We'll talk about and have knowledge from you further. We'll come up to the next round, that is, I won't call as a question round, it will be a suggestion round. So we'll come up to Neil Indrajit, ma'am. Ma'am, the first suggestion we like to know from you is that, as we already talked in the starting, that the only positivity about the pandemic was that it brought out technology into the into the system of education. So we want to know that is this going to help the children, or would make the learning more complicated? Because different views are there about with the people, that it was much better when we were studying, but some people say that when the technology has come, it has brought about so many good things that the children are able to do more. It is helping the teachers also, it helping the students also. So what according to you is, you talk about, when you talk about this technology, it is going to help the children, it is going to be a boom, or it is going to be a curse for them?
Thank you, Mr. Chandok. I feel the pandemic has brought two things. One, of course, technology into our lives, in education especially. But also, I feel, I would like to add here that children went home before the pandemic as human beings, but they have come back as humane beings. The E factor has been added. Now, the E factor, when I say the humane, why I talk about the humane beings that have come back to school is that the children have become empathetic, because in every house there was, a parent who was struggling with finances. There was a mother who was struggling with a lot of extra work. There was, illness in the family. There was death in the family. So children got that E factor at home, which we could have never provided in school. So children came back mature beings, and along with the empathy, they with technology, because with technology the children have become very engaged, very energetic, very and all these things have actually brought excellence in education, excellence in their academic performance. Because I feel we had to transform, and we were like, we were shying away from doing it before the pandemic. We knew that the only way forward was to embrace technology, but most of the schools were shying away. Most of the teachers felt they could upskill themselves, so they felt they could do without it. I'd like to mention here that it was in 2004 that I was the first school in the entire North India to introduce smart boards in our school. And we had that time hired Eureka, their software, and it had become the talk of the town. And smart education at that point of time was unheard of. But let me tell you, I was running the school in outskirts of Mohali. This was Sacred Soul School. And even Chandigarh schools did not have smart boards at that point of time. But I saw the result of technology at that point of time, and I can convincingly say that there is no future without technology. Of course, it has to be in a blended mode. It has to be beautifully curated, because post the pandemic, it came as a crisis management tool for us. But education in the future cannot be without technology. So we have to accept this. We have already seen the beautiful results. And another good thing that has happened is that schools who were thinking that teachers will become obsolete after technology comes in, that idea has also got cleared कि नहीं, teachers कहीं नहीं जा रहे, teachers का role उतना ही रहेगा. Technology, we all have to understand, is a tool in the hands of the teacher. How the teacher uses it, how well the teacher can make good use of it and reach to the student, that is debatable. But technology cannot replace a teacher, that's for sure. But we cannot do without technology. It is going to be hybrid mode in the coming times also. So I feel that's the way forward. Yeah.
You're absolutely right, ma'am, because technology is going to, move forward. It won't get back now. So we have to use this technology for sure. Otherwise, we will not be able, the students will not be able to survive in the atmosphere which is going on for education. Thank you so much, ma'am. Next, we'll come up to Shilpa Mahajan, ma'am. Shilpa, ma'am, are you there? Okay. Next, we'll come up. Yeah.
I'm there, sir.
Shilpa, ma'am, we'd like to know your views on the same, saying that is the technology a boom or a curse?
So definitely, I'm agree with your word. And with the eminent educationists who had earlier spoke regarding the it's a boon or a bane. So to a large extent, it's a boon to a system because it's well known proverb that excess of everything is bad, and that has been implemented in this sector also. Post pandemic, the revolution of technology has definitely came in the education, and we are all observing that revolution. Uh, as far as Jammu Kashmir is concerning, you were well aware that 1 year there was no 4G at that time. We conducted the classes online on 2G, sir. If technology can be happen on 2G mode, and how the revolution can bring in 4G mode, it's all ask us and our parents and our students also who at that tough time merging with the system and cope up with the difficulties. Uh, Lots of apps has been come now who are not only teach the kids but helping them to make a overall personality. No doubt, uh, to a large extent, if such apps has to be used on a limited mode, definitely it's a great boon to the education sector and to the students as well. But all is in our hand. If smart boards are there in the schools, if projectors are there in the school, and app system is there, definitely lots of things has been emerging for the future growth of our students, sir. It's really in simple terms and in short views, as far as I'm concerning, it's a boon to the education sector as a whole, but if it is used to a limited extent, because
Uh,
there is no replacement for the teachers. Teachers are playing their role as 100%, and nothing can replace the teachers as a whole, sir.
Absolutely right, ma'am, Shilpa, ma'am, because teachers' role is always be there, even the technology comes into 100%.
Definitely.
And these tools will always remain a tool only. They cannot replace the teacher for sure. That is the guaranteed one. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
We'll come up to Khushbu, ma'am. Khushbu, ma'am, we'd like to know your views on the saying that how has, or your views on that saying that how has flip learning helped children to grow in a better way, especially after pandemic?
Uh, Thank you so much for the question, sir. I would say that I have seen there is a fantastic development. The reason I can say that it is more personalized. Children have become tech savvy, they have more knowledge. There is no need for the teacher to check the previous knowledge in the class. That because of blended learning and flip learning, you can say it is a self paced learning. Paced means the children know when to go back to YouTube, find out, or there are different apps you can say, like math, there is a Prodigy app, or there are different apps for the subjects which has come. So they know when to use which app and clear their doubts. So I can say the flip learning has helped children to grow tremendously. Nowadays, teacher need not to ask the children, have you understood this topic or not? Wherein children are coming to home, they are just putting on the Google, they are searching, they know how to use what. There are certain games which have come up uh, on different levels they have to play. So I can say yes, it has actually helped children to grow, not only in the school for the studies, but in different sectors as well.
Absolutely right, ma'am. It has always helped the students to grow, because if technology would haven't be there, so these 2 years would have been, the last 2 years would have been very difficult for the children, for us also, that how to bring to give them education for sure. That is very important. That is very important. We will come up to Som Prakash sir now. Som Prakash sir, we would like to know your views on the saying that do you agree that with the use of technology, other skills also have developed along with the subjects or education we are trying to give to the students?
Yeah, definitely. Like we all know, in the last 2 years, and in general, if we say that since the time schools have adopted the use of technology more and more in the classrooms, in their administration, as a principal, like I can say, I have made my school almost 95% paperless. We're using technology to the best of our capabilities, and all my teachers, like we've trained them to use technology in their day-to-day routine work, whether it is regarding to lesson planning or the content creation, which is to be used in the routine classrooms. So there has been a lot of development, and of course, with all these developments, children have benefited to a great extent. Like we know, in the last 2 years, children were also adapted to the use of technology, and even they have mastered these skills of using technology, even more than the teachers. So their other skills have also developed with the use of technology. First of all, I would like to mention their competency level. See, the competency of any child, or in general any person, develops when he or she becomes self-dependent. What technology has transformed them into a routine learner from the classroom to a self-induced learner at home or everywhere. So that self-induced learning has come into the lives of the learners, and that self-induced learning has made them self-dependent. And that is where, as scholars, like many of my colleagues must have done their post-graduations or PhDs or whatsoever. So we all know that when you become a self-learner, you do self-study or you do self-learning, then only the highest quantum of result is achieved. What I mean to say is, through a routine classroom teaching, you cannot produce toppers. This is my firm belief. Through a routine classroom teaching, you cannot produce a through and through topper. The topper will be the one who does self-study most of the time, 6 hours of study, 8 hours of study, 10 hours of study. So this competency level has increased among students. They have become dependent upon the use of technology, whether it is YouTube or whether it is any particular app, or even the videos created by their teachers, content created by their own people. And these days, like I can say in my schools, children are creating their own content and sharing with each other on our school platform, school app. So that is where their competency level has increased, and then that has resulted into a certain kind of, a special kind of self-belief. And for me, in any person, self-belief is the key to growth or to achieving excellence. Once that self-belief is created inside the person, inside the student, there is no looking back, and the path to excellence can be achieved through that. Then students have also developed certain scientific skills like scientific thinking, creative thinking, analytical thinking, or analytical ability, which is the core ability of this technology, I would say. So all in all, I would say there's plus for the teachers and for the school administrators since the times that we have started using technology to the best possible way. So
absolutely right, sir. Self-confidence is improved among the students that they can do something. So that is why it is a really boom for the students, and other skills also have improved of the students.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come back to Animesh sir. Animesh sir, we wanted to know about that. How has flipped learning helped children to grow in a better way, especially after the pandemic?
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir, for giving me a chance to speak again. As you have asked, how the flipped learning have children to grow in a better way. Definitely, during pandemic, we have seen the students only online mode was the option given to the teachers and the students for learning of the things. It was a very difficult time during pandemic, as teachers were the first thing who has to be trained. Students were the second thing. So especially if the city where I am living in, we have to train the teachers for using mobile, Zoom, WhatsApp, everything, especially Hindi Sanskrit teachers. Those who are not too familiar for using the mobiles and computers. So actually, during pandemic, teachers had a tough time learning the technology and then passing the technology to the students, especially the students nursery, KG or prep I am talking of. That particular age, without mother's concern, the students were not able to learn anything. If you are taking off a child years between 3 to 6 years, teaching him or her online was the biggest problem. Students don't sit at a place, do not listen, do not concentrate, and making teachers disturbable. Now the teachers had a big time how to make the students study. Even if a poem is there, that has to be taught to the students. If student is not listening to you, not giving you the time in the classroom, you can make him do it. But online, how are you going to take up the things? That was the biggest problem that we face, particularly early age students. Secondly, during examinations, see, basically I am running a CBSE school. CBSE do provide examinations pattern that are not objective type questions. Online platform had made the students, what I personally felt, the students started use of the paperwork was very less. So during examination particularly, the students were not able to write properly within 3 hours of time. Students were able to learn in a better way. Technology was there with them. And in a flip manner, if you ask me, when you are there in the school and after school, even if there is a doubt class, student can connect with the online anybody, any point of time. Especially senior classes, senior lectures, there are a lot of apps available. So learning has become more easier. But the examination pattern, if we are talking of excellence, we are talking of toppers. So what is the criteria for toppers? Right now, percentage. How are you taking the examinations? We need to change the examination pattern, if you ask, because what we are asking the students are subjective based questions. So are we preparing the students subjective wise? If we are not preparing the students in that particular field, how are you going to assess the things with the technology coming up? So we have to change the somewhere the examination patterns where the students can be assessed on the knowledge, particularly on the knowledge. Then it can be useful. Right now, we have changed our pattern of teaching. Teachers have changed up, but the examination patterns where we are all working has not changed too much. There the things are coming up as per new education policy. I think most of you must be aware. The board has come up with the new education policy and a lot of changes has come up in this thing. But still, where objective, subjective questions, papers and questions are concerned, they are still coming as per the student has to just learn. My thing is, if you have to learn, unlearn and relearn it, then you are going to be more competent, and might be you may be specializedly grow up in the coming competitions. The competition has come to artificial intelligence. Right now we are talking about smart boards. I have seen schools coming with artificial intelligence robots in the classroom where you ask the question to the robot, he will reply. So artificial intelligence has come. There is a subject in artificial intelligence as CBSE is recommended. So we have to anyway come up with the technology, and flip technology is the ultimate thing where we can learn the things in a more precise and a better way. That will be better, and the future lies with the technology. No questions about it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. You're absolutely right. But the thing is that the government or the CBSE is trying to bring a lot of changes where they are trying to understand or check the knowledge of the child rather than going them into very subjective. Like when the things are going on the the internal level of the school, still the schools are following the old traditions that they are going, like we are talking about mathematics. They're going in the traditional way into the class, writing up 2, 3, 4 questions on the blackboard, and they're saying, okay, the exercise is over. So the method of teaching has to be changed internally in the schools, because CBSE is going towards that, or an EP is going towards that way, that now further we won't be having any sort of streams. The child can take up the subjects according to the interest, And again, at the very same time, the things are changing, or the subjects or the pattern of the questions in the boards is changing as according to the higher order level thinking type of questions are coming, where they are checking up the knowledge of the students and not hard but rot learning they have done. So they are trying at the government level, they are trying the level best, but at the very same time, we in the schools have to start doing this, that the change of methods of teaching should be there. I had been talking from last 3 4 days to my maths teachers that how we are going to teach, because playway method was there in the pre-primary, but now the playway method is from PG to grade 12. You have to change the pattern of teaching. That is very important. Thank you so much, sir. We'll come up to Harshpal sir. Harshpal sir, in the first round, we have seen so many things have been told by the principal. Sir also said something. Khushbu ma'am also said something about that. And we had been talking about, that this, conclusion that technology is very important, which has come as a boom, but with a limited use to it, how limitation has to be done to it. And at the very same time, flip learning is very important. Sir, Animesh sir said that with the flip learning, their reading and their writing, of course, reading and writing had gone down very down. That is why we had seen, sir is also saying the right thing, that during the when they were writing the exam, they were not able to write for 3 hours continuously, or they were not able to complete their paper on time, or whatever it was. Why? Because the writing habits have gone down. That also has to be taken care of. Lot. So, taking into all these things into consideration, how are you doing this in your app? How this machine-made AI app things is developing? Like sir was saying, that robots have come into the classes, where if you ask a question to him, instead of going into smart boards, you can ask questions to them. So how can the all-round development, like again sir said, that the limited use of it will be a boom for them, otherwise it will always be a curse. Please let us know about that.
Sir, I really like the way Animesh sir, laid out all the problems that he faced during pandemic, and also I believe he's facing certain problems now also. So when we talk about technology uh, in classroom, that is, obviously the first thing is that how to teach students about subjective, if there is a pattern in the school board that we have to take subjective type, we have to pose the subjective type questions to get the answers, or for that matter a very important subject like how can we teach maths, statistics, or even for that matter a language learning, like for example you want to teach Hindi or you want to teach English, because it's a lot of writing, and for a lot of what you call young kids, especially from the primary section, it is becomes very difficult to teach them online. So online or through technology, even if the teacher is in the classroom and you hand them over a tablet or a laptop, how they're going to be taught. So one thing that we have to think, that we have to keep up with the technology. So keeping up with technology is that number one is obviously with touch. The technology has advanced into such a stage that we can give them the stylus. So styluses are very common these days. If you want students to learn, let's say in our particular case, we give them tablets. We also give them an option for styluses to learn and write, to do mathematics, notes, homework, and then you can save it and send it across to your teacher. The teacher can either do it online or they can take a printout. So one feature is that the students can, write it, scribble it. They can do all sorts of things, and then they can save it and send it to teacher, or they can save it as a note for their reference, whichever way. So one way of is that. The second way, now we come up to the assessment part, where we want students to, in the assessment part, we have already addressed the subjective type questions, and we are improving our product in the subjective type questions. The reason is that, yes, it is there are many softwares which pose only MCQs or true and false, or fill in the blanks. But the subjective type question is something that nobody actually addresses. Now, why subjective type questions are important, that is also a very important point. That's a very different debate, because we really want students to have certain skills developed in the subjective type. So that's why subjective type questions are important, and it should be a form of what you call, in the curriculum. It should be in the curriculum. But it's just that when we're talking about subject type in the technology, then again, the AI plays a very important role. We have done that, and we are continue to improve the product in the subjective type. So subjective type is something you pose a question, you as a teacher input the sample answer as well. But in the sample answer does not mean that the student will write word for word. The few words here and there, obviously everybody has their own way and own point of view. So in that particular case, the AI takes over, where the AI brings in various types of synonyms, antonyms, and other things to accommodate every person's views. So number one, this is how we addressed it, and we are improving our product by the day. Third thing that I would like to is the attention grabbing. I'm sure the attention grabbing was very difficult during the pandemic, and now after the pandemic, the attention grabbing is very, very difficult. So how are you going to get attention grabbing? So what we done is we did a study. So we study is that we gave kids this Instagram or Facebook and YouTube. So, and in that we did not give them any educational content. We just gave them some random entertainment content. So they apparently got engaged into that content rather than then we decided. So it's always, as part of a research, we always say, if you are getting engaged in entertainment content that engages you, then you should be able to engage in the learning content also. But that content has to be interesting enough for the students to get engaged. So that is how we bring in the tools. Like, so you said, and there was one more person, ma'am, was saying that technology is an enabler. It is a tool for teachers. It is not going to replace. No matter how many robots you will bring in the classroom, you still need a teacher in a classroom, because robots are going to be, if you ask a question to a robot, it looks nice. It sounds nice to have a robot in a classroom, because it can create an engagement, a curiosity level in the student to ask a question. But in the other sense is that at the same time, it is the engagement level that we really want, and we want students to be engaged in the learning process and to retain what they're learning, because at the end of the day, they are supposed to give an examination through which they will pass and move and get promoted to another class. So that's where our tool comes in, that your teachers, that school's teachers have entire freedom to create that engaging content. Now, why we say that your teachers need to get into that and they have a freedom to create the content, because you know your child better or your students better in the classroom, right? There will be certain set of students who are, let's say, for example, more interested in engagement or a visual content. Then there can be certain set of students who are more interested in the activity-based content, because everybody has a very, very different learning patterns and every child is unique. So that's why we have those tools. We have around 50 of those tools. But whenever somebody who comes onto the tab school, we obviously train those teachers, but we make sure that that it is being implemented in classroom, and the teacher should be, again, one more important point is that teacher has to also learn and be creative in creating that kind of content. So teacher should not feel burdened. Oh my God, अब तो ये मुझे content बनाना पड़ेगा, फिर मैं class में जाऊंगी, and then I'll teach them. No. So that's why we also, when we design the product, we keep ourselves in the teacher's shoes. They are not technical people. They are supposed to teach, right? So that's why the entire system has been designed in a manner which enhances, engages, and the student in the learning process. And again, through that, develops the skills. Like, for example, a crossword puzzle. Crossword puzzle is something that I love to do, and I'm sure there are many people who like to do it. But if you tell them, for example, let's say you want to teach capital cities, so you give them a crossword puzzle. It will help you with the spellings. It will help them to retain, okay, India ki capital, Norway ki capital, this and that. So spellings bhi अच्छे हो रहे हैं, problem solving skills be develop ho rahe hain. Everything is happening at the same time, and engagement is also there in the process. So that is how we go about it with the technology.
That's amazing thing you have brought in, because students, they don't want to ask question inside the class. Teachers are not able to understand what is the performance of the child. But through these tools, everything is happening. The teachers are able to know whatever the performance, I mean, the assignments they are doing of different subjects. The teacher gets the result with the corrections that how right or wrong the child is doing. What are the areas at which they have to pay more stress, because where the children are not able to do. So it is making, and I think they are making up the assignments also, and the sheets also for the teachers, so that they can send only a click of a button. They have to send it, because now the concentration of the teacher will be only towards the teaching. Other things are being taken by the technology. So that's a great help to the teachers also. And at the very same time, it is also bringing up the level or the work of the school also at very systematic, like report cards making and everything, and putting up the performance of the children and the feces also, and everything parallelly going on together. That is very good thing. Thank you so much, Harpal sir. It was a wonderful experience talking to you on this particular topic. We'll come back to you again. Now we'll have the second round. Because of scarcity of time, I request all of you to give it a very precise answer, 60 seconds, 1 minute. I'll come up to next round now. We'll talk to Neelinjar Jeet Kaur ma'am. Are you there? Yeah, ma'am is there. Ma'am, we'd like to know from you that how has technology helped the schools to get their work systematic and easy? Like we had been seeing that so many people were kept in the offices as of now to keep up the fees records and this and that, about the worksheets, about the results and everything. But when the technology has came into being, it has taken up the work of these people. It is become more economical. So what do you feel about this?
I feel that yes, technology has helped us, but if you say it has reduced our workload, that's not true, because somewhere, when we talk about paperless, systems, we always somewhere end up having a hard copy also. So, and children come up with varying learning abilities. Like, Mr. Harshpal also mentioned that some children are audio learners, some are visual learners, some are kinesthetic learners. So, technology is not an answer to all kind of learners. There are a robot can address a few group of children, but when it is about the classroom as a whole, reaching to every child who has a different potential. So at times, technology needs the support of a teacher's intervention at the personal level. So over here, I would want to, put across that we really need to understand what's flipped learning. See, initially, before technology had, come into our lives, the way they have post-pandemic, we were, the teacher was doing the talking 70% of the times, and the poor child, got the mic only for 30% of the time. So we were doing the talking. Now, with technology and with children, as Mr. Somprakash also had mentioned, that children have become self-reliant, independent. So we have kind of flipped the process during the post-pandemic. Now, the children are doing the 70% of the talking, and the teacher is doing the 30% of the talking, because the child is coming to a classroom after a lot of research. He's been given a topic, he's researching on it, he's coming up with a lot of queries to the classroom, and technology has given the edge to the child. The child is collaborating, he's getting in touch with data, information, and his horizons have broadened. So I feel technology has empowered the child, and improved on his concentration levels in the classroom, because he's more engaged in the classroom. Earlier, concentration levels were a problem. Now he comes excited to the classroom, because at times he has more information than the teacher also. So the child is pretty aware, and technology as a tool is actually helping the child grow in their academic performances. If we would talk about the beautiful result that we have in front of us. So I feel that's
Right,
that's
ma'am.
the mood. Yeah.
Absolutely right, ma'am. You're absolutely right. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Shilpa, ma'am, now. Shilpa, ma'am, we want to know your views on the same topic, that how, has technology helped schools to get their work more systematic and easy. Ma'am, you're on mute.
I'm audible now.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving me opportunity to speak on this wonderful question. Sir, realization of technology has been defined after the pandemic, I mean the post-pandemic. It has been realized by the students, by the parents, by the faculties, by the school especially, how the technology can play a bigger role for the learning process, for the better learning process. And definitely this has helped in the management process also, in the school process also, in the running of the easiness of the school running also. From the management term, I would like to say, after the using of the technology as part on the management terms, the easiness regarding the fee system has been come. Now there is no manual issue regarding the collection of the fee or data making. Everything has been now on the app system. The NLP system also. The parents click on their name and they came to know how the charges they have to pay to the school. After transportation issue has also been sorted out after the using of the technology. Now at the home they can search where the vehicle has been reached now. They can easily search, and after the searching they can come to collect their kids after the school. That chaos has also been lessened. And after that teaching process, now teacher has uh, um, lessen their resources regarding the collection of the data. Now their focus is how to allocate and how to use their terms
Their
in
potential.
the classroom process.
Right.
That the I think biggest achievement of the technology, I believe, because the uh, teacher teacher stress has been lessened after the use of the technology in terms of classrooms. Now they are utilizing their resources in a better way, how to output the learning process. And as
Right.
far as kids are concerning, now the students are more aware regarding the topic. Uh, Before the starting of the lesson, they are aware regarding the topic, and now the question answer session has been now healthy process in a healthy process. They
Right, sir.
came
Right, ma'am.
they came to know regarding the topic in a very healthy way, and giving the collection of the questions in a very healthy way. In simple terms, technology has lessened the burden to a large extent in the learning process and in the school also.
Right, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. You're absolutely right when you're talking about technology. Apart from the other things which are lessen down the burden of the teachers towards the extra things they were doing. Now with that time saving, they can focus on the children more. And at the very same time, it was a time when the parent was not knowing what is happening inside the school during 6 hours. But now through this technology, parents are able to know what is happening inside the school on the way from going and coming back from the school, everything they are knowing. So they are more of connected because we had seen that time that the parents are only feeling that we have paid the fees, so our duty is over. But now when they are knowing everything, they can't escape from that. पहले बोलते थे हमको तो पता ही नहीं स्कूल में क्या चल रहा है. But now they know everything with the use of technology. So it has become that the partnership of the parents and the school administration will become more stronger, and the parents will also become more responsible for that. Thank you, Shilpa man. Thank you so much. We'll come up to Animesh sir. Animesh sir, when we talk about the schools, first of all thing, or we talk about technology along with the schools, we say that before education also, the most important thing is the safety of the children. So what are your views on this topic, sir?
Hello, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, definitely safety of the children should be the utmost priority of the school. Schools are critical infrastructure and trust with the responsibility of creating citizens of tomorrow. A safe and secure environment is a prerequisite for effective teaching and learning. Thus, ensuring safety of a children, teachers, and staff members during disaster is necessary. It becomes of utmost importance that safety of children is given due considerations. Thus, making schools safe also serves the purpose of their dual use as evacuation centers during emergencies. School needs to move in the direction of making a durable, safe condition where the children has a sense of safely, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Every child should be allowed to question and express themselves in a non-threatening environment. My take on physical safety is simple. There are guidelines set by the education department, boards, international research bodies. Each school needs to follow them diligently and not compromise to the safe resources. If you are going to save the resources and not put on technology, it can be installation of cameras, installation of fire extinguishers, many more things have come up. So safety is considered for the students is the utmost priority. Security, watching the cameras for constant surveillance, police verification of each employee also should be done. The entry and exit of all persons entering the school should be recorded. ID card should be issued to the students, visitor, and parents. Primary students handing over to the parents should be seen whether you are handing over the students to the correct persons or not. See, when the student is moving from the home and till he reaches back to the home, it's the school's full responsibility to make sure the child is safe and secure. And he should, nowadays, physical is the only not the problem. See, if you think of it, emotional and personal safety is also required, social safety is also required, and even now deals with cyber security or cyber safety. Now the students have to make aware about the safety about cyber, because everyone has an account on Facebook, Instagram, and many more social medias. So safety of them, how to use it in a more better way, what should not be post, what should be post, even in technology, should be the priority of the school to make ensure that students should know the crimes that could have happened in the cyber world also. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right. Everything has to be checked on for the safety of the children before giving them education. We'll come up to Khushbu ma'am. Khushbu ma'am, we'll also like to know your views in precise in 60 seconds about that the safety of the children is more important or the most important thing for the children especially.
Thank you so much, sir, for the question. And already Animesh sir has almost covered all the points. So I will just add on a little bit to that it's not only safety we are talking about physically, but I'm talking about mental as well. We should have a counselor in the school. There should be no assault to be made. It can be a bullying of the children, or I can say that sometimes there is a theft in the classroom. They have got something and pencils are misplaced, or their notes or their notebooks, sometimes they are not getting on a time during exams. There are safety should be taken care of some disorder. The students, those who are, we can say, slow learner, mentally retarded, can be dyslexia, can be thalassemia. There are so many children they are suffering from. So safety for them as well should be taken care. At the same time, I will share one incident which happened 2 days back in my school, that standard 1 child is simply playing, making hands round, and that pencil just went, and one boy's eye got hurt, and immediately we rushed to the hospital. So even we are taking so much care, then also such things are happening. So safety doesn't mean that only physical infrastructure should be there, or there are special didis to be appointed to take care of the younger children. At the same time, there are so many small aspects are there which should be taken care of. Thank you so much, sir. I just added what Animesh sir said because almost he said
Yes,
everything.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And there are certain things which happen all of a sudden which you can't avoid even, because so much, things you have made for the, safety of the children. But again, something or a thing happened, like you told that the boy got hit. Within fraction of seconds, you get that this has been done, and by the time the teacher or didi looks after, that incident has happened, and the parents are rushing. You have to rush up to the hospital. Again, the parents or the children, they are saying that you don't take care in the school. So a lot of responsibilities do happen, and for everything, that principal is responsible for each and everything.
Each other.
And
True, sir.
everything.
True, sir.
Up, yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. We'll come up to Som Prakash sir. Som Prakash sir, we will like to know views on the saying that as an administrator of the school, we have to see that the administrative block should be properly organized. Do you agree with that, and how we should do this?
Definitely, definitely. It is the need of the hour. As you know, we as human beings, we all, what is that particular thing on which we take the most care? Which part of the body? And that is the face, of course. So simple is the case with the school also. The admin block is the face of the school. So as an administrator or as a principal, one would look at, polishing the admin block as good as is possible as per the infrastructure of the school or as per the vision of the management of the school. So keeping an eye over each and every activity physically is not possible, as various speakers have mentioned, Mr. Animesh and Mrs. Khushbu Singh. But even then, not keeping an eye or keeping an eye, we have to maintain certain standards as per the demand of the modern times, and the use of technology comes in very handy when it comes to the management of the administrative things in the school. So one should look at adopting to the technology, like the primary interface. When parents come, the visitor log can be automated, the inquiries or the registration for various documents and all these things can be managed very easily with the use of technology, and that interface should be applied to the administrative block at the reception itself, where parents are using that. See, in my school is a rural school, but I have given them a habit to my parents, and then now they are using the technology whenever they come to the school to meet me or to meet any teacher or for issuance of any document. They have to apply digitally in the reception, and they are issued the certificates, or they are granted the permission, or they are granted the appointments quickly. Similarly, also the scientific distribution of the workload. That is the primary duty of the principal or the head of the institution, that the workload should be distributed scientifically and as per the ability. And that can also be done with the use of technology, and things can become very easy to manage, to handle, and the day-to-day administration becomes an enjoyable affair. सी एक जमाना वो भी था जब सारी चीजें डायरियों में पेपर पे होती थी. अब आप फीस रिकॉर्ड को देखिए. Look at the collection of the fees. I know many schools where many blunders have been committed by the accountants because the fee collection was manual. But now it's been around 10-12 years since almost all the schools adopted the use of technology as far as the collection of fees is concerned. सबने अपने अपने सॉफ्टवेयर बनवाए, कईयों ने ERP लगवाया, कईयों ने कुछ किया. Similarly, day by day, like when time speaks for itself, and schools are also adopting to technology, and that's a good thing. That is my view.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. But still, I will tell you that more than 95% schools, they are not using this technology because they are not.
That is not a good thing. That is not a good thing. I would advise them to get to this as soon as possible.
Yes, sir. Because they think it is a very useless thing, and why useless thing? Because it is a very costly affair. Now the things have become so economical.
Neither it is costly, nor it is difficult to manage. In fact, my personal experience says it is quite handy. It is quite usable thing, and life becomes enjoyable.
That's great, sir. Harshpal sir, thank you so much, sir. Harshpal sir, some of the points, sir, Som sir has said, Som Prakash sir said that it is very handy, but it is very economical. So how are these type of tools like Tab School and all? They are looking after the administration. How they are, sir is saying it's making that things very easy. So how are these tools making easy? How are they, like he's saying that when the parents are coming, the digital is, I mean, their entrance is being done. That digitally it will come into the records that the particular parent has come. So what type of system do you have with you, which you use in your Tab School, which is helping the administrative work also and making it very easy?
So, firstly, I hats off to Som sir because he's doing it entirely digital. I hardly find any school which is doing it in 100% digital. But hats off to him and his other colleagues and staff members who are doing it. So, yeah. So when we talk about technology, along with the classroom learning comes the ERP systems and school management systems and same thing. But what we have done is we start off right from the gate. That is the security guard. So you can implement the technology from there and go back into the classroom. The entire technology can be implemented. So we have modules for the security guard, from your front desk person, a receptionist, to your accountants, to your library, to your hostels, to your what you call what else, canteen, stationery, inventory, everything is there. Now I'm sure there are many other softwares that provide also that also. But the main part is that we need is the automation. Now, what is automation? Like my organization more recently got paperless because again, my people are spread across India. So we had to automate everything. Automate means I enter a data and it shows up the results. It gives me a precise information. It becomes an information software so that I, as a manager or anybody as a teacher, can take the correct decision at the right time. So that is more important for us, and that's where we have headed with the ERP. So for example, we are generating about 15 type of reports for teachers. Now, why do we say 15 type of reports? And anybody say, why do you need 15 type of reports? Because the reason is that the moment student comes online, what they're doing online, how much time they're spending reading PPT, or if they're watching the video or not video, one kind of generation of report is that and that only. Another one is for the assessment. Third one would be for the fees. And then there is one more comprehensive report of one child, which is what is happening. One is the academic report. Second is the more administrative related report. One is the device managed, how they are using the device, right? So that kind of reports. Today we are just before this show I had come out from a technical meeting that we were thinking about having a report where we can understand the personalities of the students. In sense, we can give them a feedback, give the feedback to teachers as to how your student is mentally, and how they can you can teach them something. Which there's another blended learning learning model, that is adaptive learning. So how you can teach them, because sometimes what happens is there is one or two children in a class that needs more attention, right? So in that particular, sometimes teacher is not able to understand, even parent is not able to understand. And like Khushbu ma'am said, sometimes parents don't understand that our child has a special need also. It is being detected very late in the school journey. So these are the things that matter for the student, and that's what we are currently working on, and we hope to launch in early next year. But the thing is that these are the things that we take care of, and in the ERP ecosystem, and obviously with the classroom management all combined into. So a lot of information is given to the teacher so that they make the right decisions. So automation of fee collection, automation of what you call sending certain home assignments or tests to them. So these are the automation things that happen to within our ecosystem. So that's again starting from the entering from the door to back, including the bus. Everything is all a part of Tab School's ecosystem. So that's their bus tracking.
Right.
We have everything is there.
That's it. That's very good. And you are doing this before the pandemic also. But before the pandemic, nobody was, the paying attention towards it or giving your believing on it, whatever word you can say. But after pandemic, for sure, everybody has started believing it, because whoever was not concerned to technology has got concerned to technology now. That anything can be created through technology, and it is so helpful to the schools, to the every part of the school, with the teachers, with the students, and the administrative block also. That's a wonderful thing you have created, Harpal sir. Thank you so much for your expert views. Coming up to the last part of the session, a very good one we have is that before parting, all the participants who have come over here and joined us will have to sing two lines, because this last 5 to 10 minutes is a me time where everyone has to sing a song. And because the people who have already come, they know about this. Holmes have known about this, and he's a senior right now. So he'll be singing afterwards. But the newcomers who have come for the first time, they will have to sing first. So Animesh sir, being a gentleman, you have to start, sir, that. Sir, any two lines, filmy, original, it may be devotional, it may be patriotic, anything you want to sing, sir. Any two lines. You see, we are all stressed throughout the day when we are working up throughout the day. Today also we have so worked so much. Now we have talked about about ourselves and about the topic. Now it's time to relax for the last 5 to 7 minutes. So this is the theme of the show, that everybody has to sing two lines. It's a me time.
I'll try, sir. I'm not a good singer actually. Might be all have to mute me off. I'll try, sir. हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। ओ मन में है विश्वास, पूरा है विश्वास, हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन। थैंक यू सर।
बिल्कुल कामयाब होंगे सर। कामयाबी तो हमारे पास, जब हमने कोरोना पैंडेमिक जीत लिया है, में जीत कर लिया, एवरीथिंग स्टॉप बट एजुकेशन डिड नॉट स्टॉप। So this is the best achievement we had during pandemic. अब तो हम कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Beautiful voice you have, sir. Sir, we are talking to Indian Idol people. I must tell you, there are so many good singers in the education industry. You know, the genies, and I call the administrators as genies, because with every stakeholder, whenever anybody rubs and calls to we say, "Kya hukum hai mere aaka?" So we can do anything. So I'm talking to the Indian Idol people to start up a show with the educationists, especially with the management and the principals, where only these people will, join the show. Or sir, you are going to the quarterfinals, sir. Done, sir.
Thank you.
We'll come up to Khushbu, ma'am. Your turn, ma'am.
So I was searching for the song.
Okay.
मैं शायर तो नहीं, मगर हंसी, जब से देखा मैंने तुझको, मुझको शायरी आ गई. Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, going to the finals, ma'am. You are going to the finals. Neil Inderjeet, ma'am. Please. You have a very unique and different name also, different personality also, ma'am. We are getting inspired from you, ma'am. Now that we have to get inspired for the song you're going to sing, ma'am. It can be Punjabi also, it can be Hindi also, anything, ma'am.
I've never sung in my life, but definitely I'll share a few words with you.
Ma'am, in rhythm, ma'am.
Yeah. Have you had a kindness shown? Pass it on. It wasn't given for the loan. Pass it on. I think that's good.
But ma'am, the next time when you're coming, you were coming up with a very beautiful Punjabi song. Next time when you're coming up to the show. And please don't say no, get ready with that, ma'am.
Sure, it was a surprise to me. So
yes, ma'am. See, we should have our me time also, ma'am.
Absolutely.
Shilpa ma'am. Okay, by the time Shilpa ma'am is coming, sir, Som sir, already you have been declared the best singer. Shilpa ma'am is there. Shilpa ma'am, please. Ma'am,
Yes,
your
sir.
time to sing a song, ma'am.
Sir, actually, I'm very bad singer. I
Ma'am,
can't.
nobody's a good singer here, ma'am. Don't worry about that.
सर, मैं एक ऐसा सॉन्ग पे बिलीव करती हूँ जो हमारी लाइफ को डेली इंस्पायर करता है. तो ये है जिंदगी. जिंदगी.
आप एक काम करिए, आंखें बंद करिए, गा लीजिए. आप सबको देख रही है, इसलिए पहुंची आ जा रही है.
जिंदगी एक सफर है सुहाना, यहाँ कल क्या हो किसने जाना. सर, ये हमारी सबकी लाइफ के लिए है, क्योंकि मुझे लगता है कि जो आज की डेट में हम लोग फेस करते हैं वो प्लान नहीं होता. तो बेटर है हम लाइफ को डेली एंजॉय करें और उससे भी इवनिंग में सीखें और उस इंस्पिरेशन को लेके नेक्स्ट डे वो हमारा मोटिवेशन लेक्चर बने और नेक्स्ट डे हमारा और पॉजिटिव जाए. आई बिलीव इन दिस.
Absolutely right, ma'am. Absolutely right. That's the quality of a true leader.
Yeah.
Som Prakash sir, Dr. Som Prakash sir, because we needed to have the closure, we should have a very good singer and a very good personality. So the way you speak and the way you sing, it is awesome, sir.
Thank you so much.
पहले तो गाना सुनाइए, फिर कुछ ऐसा सुना दीजिए अपना वो something very beautiful thing के मजा आ जाए सर.
I'm humbled with your thoughts. Thank you sir, thank you for the appreciation. हालांकि मैं ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं हूँ जैसा आपने कहा है, तो फिर भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. मैं एक सॉन्ग को बीच में से गाऊंगा, थोड़ा सा बड़ा मोटिवेशनल सॉन्ग है, मतलब बहुत अच्छा लगता है, तो आप लोग भी ध्यान से सुनिएगा और चीज कभी ना कभी काम आती है. सुबह आती है शाम जाती है, सुबह आती है शाम जाती है, यूं ही वक्त चलता ही रहता है, रुकता नहीं, एक पल में ये आगे निकल जाता है, आदमी ठीक से देख पाता नहीं और पर्दे पे मंजर बदल जाता है, एक बार चले जाते हैं जो दिन रात सुबह शाम, वो फिर नहीं आते, वो फिर नहीं आते, जिंदगी के सफर में गुजर जाते हैं जो मकान, वो फिर नहीं आते, वो फिर नहीं आते. Thank you.
Sir, I cannot say you're going to the finals. I feel like giving you the trophy right now only.
Oh my God.
Indian Idol trophy, sir. Wonderful, awesome, and such a touching song with a beautiful voice you sir have sung. I am always a fan of you, sir. I'm always a fan of you. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Harshpal sir, will you try something? You might have got ready, sir. You are aware about the paper is already out to you. You are an old contestant. You might be knowing.
I don't know how to top that. Sir has sung beautifully.
No problem, sir. Passing marks will be done, sir. Passing marks will be done.
So one of the songs that I personally like and is very close to my heart, and I have sung it on your show also. At that time, I forgot the lyrics, and this time I said I'll try it one more time. So, but it's going to be a very small para. So I'll start. It's from the movie called Golmaal, Mol Palkar's movie Golmaal, and that is Aane Wala Pal. So Aane Wala Pal Jaane Wala hai, आने वाला पल जाने वाला है, हो सके तो इसमें जिंदगी बिता दो, कल कोई आने वाला है. That's it. That's the only thing that I can sing. Thank you.
Wonderful, sir. Wonderful. Awesome. But the lyrics was something wrong. Somewhat something
I got
wrong.
that.
No worries, sir. No worries, sir. Next time again, you have to rehearse it and come back again with the right lyrics also, with the right singing also. But you are improving. You are improving, sir. Gradually, you are improving. Improvement can be seen in this student. Gradually, you'll go up to the finals one day. हम होंगे कामयाब एक दिन. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Harshpal sir. Thank you, Animesh sir, Harshpal sir, Som Prakash sir, Khushbu ma'am, Shilpa ma'am, and Neil Indrajit Kaur ma'am for joining to the show. I hope you had a good time, a good discussion, and good knowing each other. Obviously, I'll share the contact details with you each other, and we should get contacted. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you had a good time. Thank you so much. Namaste. Sat Shri Akal.
Thank you, sir.
Bye bye.
Bye, sir.